welcome to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. Over the next few minutes, the teams will be heading out onto this classic Formula One track for what we're expecting to be a very hectic practice session. So Anthony, lots to do of course in these sessions, lots of programs to run. What are you looking for when you jump in the car for free practice?
Well, you have basic checks first of all. You know, is the car working correctly? What are the track conditions like? And you'll be chasing that as the session goes on. Things like that. Then you start getting into the nitty-gritty of it all, and they become more like test sessions where it's all about gathering new data, testing components, tweaking the setup and so on. So there's only so much actual practice that these drivers need. Most of them will be plenty familiar enough with the track layout, either from previous experience or from the simulator.
Best lap so far is a 1:26.7. Right, I'll get these changes made.
Good afternoon from a very familiar setting. It's race day here in Spain, and with everything still to play for in the championship battle, there's no room for mistakes in a Grand Prix that's well known for creating them. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down to turn 1 of this 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of turn 9. Anthony Davidson is here with me today. Together we'll be taking you through all the action of this Spanish Grand Prix. It can be hard for the cars to follow each other closely here due to the dirty air coming off the car in front. So perhaps we're looking at a more strategic Grand Prix out. What do you think on that?
I'm not too sure about that, Crofty. I mean, yes, as you say, it's hard to follow around here, but if you're brave on the brakes, you can get the job done down into turn 1, which is a medium-speed corner, so you have to be committed. And looking down at this grid today, I think we're going to see 1 or 2 drivers making a move from a long way back. Maybe try to force their opponent into a mistake. I don't think this is a race that's going to be purely decided in the pit stops.
You've done well to put it on pole, but we've still got work to do. Trying to cover the inside line off the start.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position, and Nico Rosberg completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Raikkonen, Sebastian Vettel, and Ricciardo, Button, Alonso, Bottas, and Roman Grosjean. Perez, Sainz, Felipe Massa, and Hülkenberg, Kvyat, Gutierrez, Marcus Ericsson, and Pascal Wehrlein, Magnussen, and Palmer, Rio Haryanto, and Felipe Nasser starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
After these tyres now, finish the race on this good break.
Brilliant stuff from Mercedes today. That's another historic win. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well, though. There's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good result for Max Verstappen, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Felipe Massa. For me, that was an outstanding performance that drew on every bit of his not unsubstantial experience.
On to the constructors then. Red Bull have extended their lead over the championship. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It's a good result for Max Verstappen, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Oh, well, I'm a bit spoilt for choice, Crofty. My instinct says Valtteri Bottas, and looking down the field, no one really jumps out at me to make me change my mind.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull have extended their lead over the championship. That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.